So when you first started, you're saying, well, okay, now I've got to start building up, were you thinking database at that time? Or I got to start meeting people.
No, I wasn't thinking database at
Yeah,
all.
just got to start meeting people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking about meeting people, and I was thinking about how to make a difference in my community.
Right.
At the time, we had a cute little home in North Hills West, and unfortunately, we were burglarized. And I thought, gosh, this is terrible, and this makes me want to move. But I love my neighbors, and I love where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, what can I do to change this? And so my husband and I held a barbecue at our house, and we started a neighborhood watch. And we met with the senior lead officers, and we literally built a little community because I didn't want to leave. I loved where I was living. I loved my house.
Right.
And I loved that my kids had friends in the neighborhood. I loved all of that. And I mean, genuinely loved my neighbors. And so I thought, how can we change? And so we built the neighborhood watch. And from that, people started trusting me and, talking to me about, their future moves. And just naturally, it came.
That is what you just described.
Mm-hmm.
Is how, if you look at the history of real estate, how much the way selling techniques evolved. Mm-hmm. And by that, I mean, you just inherently felt that you wanted to do something and get engaged,
mm-hmm.
help.
Mm-hmm.
And you did it without the thought of it being a sales technique.
Mm-hmm.
And my guess is you end up selling a lot of those people's homes.
Still do.
And still do.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden you sit back and you say, well, here's something that she just did instinctively. Mm-hmm. Like, again, what you brought in naturally.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you sit back and you look at it, you go, oh, well, I see that generated sales.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe that's a sales technique.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't why you did it.
Correct.
But now you start to realize it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think since then, you've evolved that, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've definitely learned from that.
Yeah.
For sure. We still hold community events, and, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you what the ROI is on it. I don't know that I've sold a house because I've held a community event. But I can tell you the feeling of giving back to the community, seeing the kids run around and smile and in their bouncy houses and running down the slides and, having so much fun. I know I'm making an impact on those people's lives. And if they happen to not have an agent, they'll probably use me in the future.
Right.